We are live in living color. Welcome to another fantastic episode of This Week in Reselling, where I have a little help from my friends. Here we'll disguise the highs and lows of reselling, dive into great conversation, and we are positive you're going to hear something that's going to help you become a better reseller. I'm your host, Ray, and I'm joined with these amazing people. We have none other than Brandon, Big Time Flips.
I don't have a witty intro this week.
Oh, Brandon.
I know.
Come on. We have Joe. I flipped that.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk.
Ooh, Looney Tunes cash.
Joe's got the money now that he found that saxophone.
Saxoboom.
Ooh, we'll definitely talk about that. Ooh, you got it? Okay. All right. And we have Ken SSK Promo.
That's right.
I should bring my
baby.
Angie with Angie Reselling. I'm so glad that you guys are here. So we were going to have a guest, but something went down. So I invited Angie and both Ken to be on here. But guys, don't get it twisted because this episode is going to be awesome. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about our summer, everything that we've been doing so far. And this is episode 49. So Joe and Brendan's contract expire in 3 more episodes. So if you guys are interested, please shoot us a DM. We don't know if they are free agents, so they might get better contracts. We'll see.
Anything's better than free. So
Exactly.
We'll just form our own and take over.
yeah, that too.
You can buy the podcast name. But
How much is it?
Hey, we're gonna have to discuss it.
Negotiation.
Just ballpark me
Negotiation.
right now. Just give me a ballpark number.
Let's see here.
You gotta send him the saxophone. That's what it'll take.
Yeah, I'll sell it for, let's see here, $5K.
5K.
5K.
Pocket change.
5K. 5K. That's easy for Joe. Yeah, go ahead. He's got it.
He's gonna get this
walking
get some
around.
Saxoboom money.
5K in Looney Tune money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
5K USDA. But we have a lot. I feel like we have a lot to talk about. I know that Ken is going on a new venture. If you don't know that, Ken is a part-time Santa Claus during the holidays. And Ken, you're going to be like official now, right? Like, tell us about it.
Yeah. Well, we're in July right now. And that's when I start growing out this Santa beard. And I'm super excited this year because I am going to a professional Santa school. It's way up in Michigan. It's one of the oldest, it is the oldest Santa school operating the Charles W. Howard Santa School. And it's very prestigious. And I'm super excited. I'm super excited about learning more of the professional business side of doing Santa.
What do you call Santa-ing? What's the proper
That's what
term?
I call it. I call it Santa-ing. Doing some
maybe once you go to the
Santa-ing.
school, you'll learn the proper terms. And
Yes, maybe that's one. And maybe that's the first lesson. Santa-ing 101.
How long is the school?
It is a 3-day thing. There's like an official graduation. You'll get certified by the school, which I think will, when I actually start to go out and look for professional gigs, that'll kind of hold a little bit of weight with some folks.
you can charge more.
Super exciting. Yeah, can charge more because I usually don't. Anything that I have done so far has all been just word of mouth, or somebody needed a Santa and I went over and done it. I've never actively pursued doing it. And a lot of that is because I do the Santa-ing for me, because it brings me joy to make somebody else happy, to make somebody else smile, to make give somebody a candy cane, during the holiday season. And so
Not your candy cane, but
not my candy cane. No,
Okay.
a
Just
peppermint
wanna
stick. I'll give people a peppermint stick for during the holidays when I'm out and about, just at the stores and stuff. So this class is going to teach a little more about the professional side, things that you would need to know, how to deal with children, small children that might ask difficult questions of Santa.
ooh,
things like insurances, things like how to get, professional gigs, your costuming, your outfit, your beard, your hair, makeup, anything like that would go along with doing Santa. So I'm really excited about doing that later here at the beginning of fall. And so yeah,
That's
but
awesome.
as the months
Do
go
they-
by, this
Do
beard grows out.
they give you magic beard dust at the end to help really get it to grow?
Well, I would hope that they do. And
Right.
there is classes on like beard care, beard bleaching,
Ooh.
beard whitening, beard, how to maintain your beard and your, you know, cherub-like demeanor as your elf-like
Cherub-like
demeanor.
demeanor.
Yes.
Nice.
I
So
thought when you
Yeah.
were going to school, I thought it was gonna be like longer. I thought you were gonna be like in a dorm rooming with other Santas and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
like a camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, there will be a lot of Santas or Santa prospects that are there at the school. Several of them. In fact, I have to look at what the class sizes are, but it's quite a few, maybe even up towards 100 that are there.
Are you
Um,
staying there, or is it like you go you go at 9 and you leave at 5 kind of thing, or are you guys spending the night or meals provided? I'm thinking like an overnight 3-day camp.
Yeah, it's well, you don't stay at the actual facility. We have a hotel right in the area, and we'll be there for 3 or 4 nights. Classes all day Thursday, classes and a field trip on Friday.
The North Pole?
They have. I
Where are
wish.
we going?
Well, it's close. It's a place it's the world's largest year-round Christmas store. It is in Frankenmuth, Michigan.
Oh yeah. Who was there? Wasn't someone there recently? You
Yeah.
went.
It was
Okay.
It was me. Yeah, when we went up. Well, actually, when we went up to and hung out with Brendan at
Oh,
a
that's
band
right.
field concert, we were up in that area. We had actually passed by where the school is going to be. So yeah, I'm excited. We'll be there Friday as lessons, and they have live reindeer that you can
I was
learn to
gonna ask.
interact with reindeer. And
They teach you how to handle them and stuff too,
Yeah.
reindeer.
Ooh.
I am
Elves?
not sure about the handling, but I know that they have opportunities to get photo ops to work with, a live animal in case you were at a gig that had that.
You can make
so-
connections. Like the
Yeah.
reindeer
Yes.
guy, the Santa Claus. Yeah.
Exactly.
I hope they
And,
give you
and
a
then
license, like a sleigh
Yeah.
license.
Official
Yeah.
Santa.
Or what if they
ooh,
give you like a
see, I have to
badge?
look into- Yeah, I don't know. I know there's a certificate that goes along with your certification, but I don't know if there's any other, accoutrements that go along with that. But Saturday night is the graduation ceremony. Actually, Jill had to pay an extra fee to be able to go along
To attend?
to the graduation because of the dinner. There's a big dinner. It's
Oh.
Gotcha.
a formal event. You're supposed to
Spaghetti
dress
and
up,
maple
not as
syrup?
Santa. I hope
At
so.
this
Yes.
graduation, instead of wearing a gown, do you just wear a Santa outfit?
Well,
You
I
should.
don't know. I'm gonna take
would
my
be
Santa
awesome,
outfit with me
right?
just in case. But I'm also looking to upgrade my Santa gear, my Santa outfit,
Attire?
and all of that. So yeah, there's costuming and that stuff. They also teach they also have classes on Mrs. Claus, to be Mrs. Claus, or to be an elf, to do elfing. So they kind of encompass all the
Elfing.
characters of Christmas time. So
Jill
I'm
signed up for that,
excited.
right?
The elfing.
She did not. Although she is my elf sometimes and she's my Mrs. Claus sometimes. She wings it. She does a great job. The kids love her and her elf outfit, and just a super fun time when we go
I
out.
love that. Well, something that you've been doing, Ken, is that you've been doing these whatnot shows to help you pay for these schools.
Yes.
And so we'll make sure to link Ken's whatnot shows and your eBay store to help you pay for the schools down in the description below. And something else that that we are a part of as well is this time next week, because this will come out on Thursday. There is a Christmas in July raid train on Tuesday.
Yes. Super excited. As far as on Whatnot, I host a raid train, one per year, and it's this Christmas in July raid train. It's an all day. It goes from like noon until 9 p.m. and Eastern time, and just all great resellers that are on there all day. Ray, I know you're a part of it. Angie is a part of it. You guys are actually anchoring the whole thing at the end. Angie's our caboose.
I'm the
this
caboose.
year.
Are you the last one?
Yes.
Yep.
Did we have we didn't have a thumbnail for that yet, did we?
Yeah.
Or did I miss it? Did I
You
miss
missed
it?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Get
get
with
it.
me
I'll get
later.
it to you if you don't have it. But yeah, and then Angie will raid into me again at the end, and I'll just kind of do a wrap up of the day and stuff. So it's a fun day. It's all Christmassy related items, gifts that are good for Christmas. It doesn't have to specifically be, hey, here's some decor, or here's stuffed animals or whatever. But yeah, all my whole month of Whatnot, Christmas in July, I have all these different themed shows that will, all of the monies that I make, the actual Santa school itself was a gift to me from Jill. Well, she's
That's a great gift.
doing it as like my birthday gifts, my Christmas gift, everything for this year.
It's like, don't ask
my
me
gift.
for anything else, because
it's expensive. But there's the travel, there's the hotel for 4 nights, there's other dinners that are not part of the thing, there's gas, there's everything that goes along with it, and that's what I'm going to use all of my Christmas in July or any eBay sales that are Christmas related. I've ended and sold similar, and I'm listing stuff, more stuff in the Christmas holiday categories. So anything that I have that's Christmas related all goes towards this trip. So I'm excited, and it's going well so far. We're only here in the very first week, and we've done kind of 3 shows, and it's going pretty well so far.
Oh, here's a little fun fact about that school is the Charles W. Howard. He was actually the Santa in the Macy's parade from 1948 to 1965.
Dang.
He's the one who founded the school. How awesome is that?
Yes, I've read that's cool, Angie. I've read a lot of that stuff about him and about the school. He started it because he had a Santa heart as well, and he liked to do some Santaing, and he saw a lot of really like sloppy Santas out there. With bad costumes,
Billy Bob
not
Thornton's
interacting well, and so he started the school to teach people how to represent the big guy well, because that is something that I take very seriously. When I am in my full Santa regalia, I am Santa, I am in that character. I would never want to spoil something for a child.
Exactly.
And so I take it very seriously. Now, when I'm out and about just on my own, not in the full, but I'm always wearing red and white, my fun hats and stuff during the season. That stuff is I'm still not going to be out there dropping F-bombs as a Santa lookalike.
Right.
But I try to represent well.
Ken, I was gonna say, when you're done and you graduate and go home, if it's on the way, there's a bins in Flint, Michigan.
Oh, so okay.
Go down that way and
light off those miles, Ken.
Yes, I am going to do that sort of stuff for sure. Make sure that I can write a lot of this. Well, actually, from the reselling, I can go to the bins, I can do some sourcing, I can do some stuff, but also being a professional Santa, if I am making money from that, which is taxable, which I will have to do in the taxes, that school and all of that trip will be a write-off for the taxes as well. So from both sides.
And then just think, you get to, when you upgrade your gear, you get to sell your Santa suit on eBay, your old one.
That's
Yeah.
right. I've got like 2 or 3 Santa suits.
Or give
I
it
have
to, you know,
upgraded over the time.
like a lesser Santa that's just getting started or something. You know what I mean?
But
See, I love that. Pay
Like
it forward.
Joe.
Pay it forward.
What's
I've
like
got
the
it.
Yeah.
ultimate? Is there a company that makes like the ultimate Santa suit, like the Gucci or the Louis Vuitton of Santa
Uh,
costumes? Or
You know, most of the really big professional Santas have their own custom
Right.
costumes made.
Mm,
That makes
So
sense.
there are you know, off the rack Santa suits, and but I don't know an actual company name that makes like the best ones. Most of them are, again, custom. And so eventually I'll work into that. But I
so
want
we need to
for-
get you. We need to raise enough money to get you a custom Santa
I
suit
know.
I was
fit
just gonna
for
Awesome.
SSK Bill.
Ken's trying to tell you he's tailor made. You just didn't want to say
Tailor
it.
made.
That's right. I need to go. And so, well, one of the things that I'm interested in talking about is I don't have a Santa build. I'm not the biggest guy. Jill keeps telling me I need to eat a sandwich and get ready
you're
for
tall.
the season.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. And so, you know, I've talked with some other Santas and some things like that about not
Skinny
using
Santas?
the padding because
Oh.
sometimes the padding looks fake if you're not doing it. So you get your suit or you buy the style of suit that's tailored to your build that still gives you that appearance of, you know, the jolly old fat man, but doesn't look fake, like you just have a big belly and
Yeah.
that's it. So
Just get one of those big rubber fat
Yeah.
belly things.
Yeah.
yes,
Right on.
I have looked at those. You know, a really good tailor-made suit, you're looking $5 to 10 grand for something like that. You know, I've seen some really high dollar ones. I've seen some good ones in you know, $15 to $2,000 range.
Is that with or
Mine
without the
isn't that.
boots?
Usually the boots are separate because
Yeah.
there's all the different sizes. You know, they have the boot covers and stuff like that that go over them, but again, that doesn't look as professional.
Right.
And so, you know, little by little, because I want the Santa monies or what that I make to pay for those sort of upgrades. And so each year when I do a few gigs, I put that in its own special fund. Last year I upgraded my Santa belt to a big, you know, 4-inch wide leather belt with it's, you know, really cool. Everything else is, you know, my boots are working for me right now, but there is an upgrade to boots that I want to get that I've talked to some other Santas about. Shout out to Santa Barry. And very cool. Very, very, very cool. Just talking everybody that is a Santa, it's just usually joyful to begin with. And,
Yeah.
and they love talking about it. And I would take up this whole show talking about it. But
You ever met a mean Santa?
not really a mean Santa, but I've seen some Santas that don't represent very well.
Yeah.
You know, just because you're behind the scenes doesn't mean people are not seeing you or
Yeah.
hearing you. And
Smoking
just the
Pall
way that they
Malls.
handle yeah, exactly. Like when in Home Alone when he,
Yeah,
you know, sees us sitting outside smoking and stuff with his beard half off. But yeah, I don't think that I've ever, but I've seen some really sloppy. I'll have to send you guys some pictures of this
Sloppy Santas?
Santa. Yeah, of this one. It's just ridiculous. The guy took his dogs like to the PetSmart to get his picture taken with Santa, and that Santa was just, he had to actually go Photoshop his dogs in with a professional looking Santa because it was so ridiculous.
That's funny.
So, Ken, do you have like a special closet like Bruce Wayne would have his Batman suit sitting in? Do you have your Santa like on
yeah.
the mannequin? So you just hit the button and the thing opens up like you'd see in the movies, and there's just like lights glowing. right?
I love that, and I'm going to implement that.
What's
You're
that?
saying no, right now all my Santa suits just out in it's like in its own special tub with everything that I need, so I can grab it and go, and I know that I always have everything that I need, with me. And I make sure to fold everything and put everything back nicely. So at a moment's notice, just like Superman, I can go into a phone booth and here I am, Santa.
Ken's got the suit pressed up between his mattress and box spring.
Right?
Oh, yeah. So you keep all the important documents in there. Birth certificate, Santa suit,
All the essentials.
all the essentials.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that, Ken. I'm excited. I feel like maybe in
I
the
am
future
too.
you're gonna quit reselling and just become like a Santa full time.
Well, it can be very, very lucrative. I've seen, you can make, I've talked to some people and I've read some stats and stuff. You can make 50 to 80 grand in the Santa season,
Wow.
like the
I
October
believe
to
it.
December sort of season. And then guys that do work all year long, because companies get their ad campaigns and stuff like that going, guys that do photo shoots and stuff like
Right.
that, they're doing that stuff in June and July to get ready for the holiday season. And so I don't know that I'll keep the beard all year long. Again, I grow it from July to the Santa season, which it usually gets, if anybody has seen me before, you see it gets to be a pretty decent Santa beard. And then January, I shave it all off, which is you have to grow it in the hottest parts of the year.
Right.
And then as soon as it gets cold out, you're shaving it off. So
I was gonna say otherwise you can be after Christmas time you can just be the Easter bunny in the spring.
yeah. Well, see, there's a lot in the character realm that you can do all year long. All
That's
the different holidays. That kind of beard kind of lends itself to an Uncle Sam if you're 4th of July. There's if you're dyeing stuff, I see guys that do.
You would
a
make
lot
a
of,
great Uncle Sam.
St. Patrick's Day,
leprechaun
leprechaun sort of stuff.
You could be Gandalf from Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. There's tons. Actually, that would be something I would like to get into is just be a character guy all year long and just book gigs for different stuff, not do
Ken, the
reselling or
character
just do
guy.
reselling on the side.
Right?
Wouldn't that be cool?
And the character guy.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, that'd be. It's like
now you just need to learn
I mean-
magic, so you could do magic shows
Yeah.
too. That would be one for in the spring.
I mean, but really, basically what I'm saying is I'm aspiring to being Joe because Joe's a character guy like all year long. You always seeing him in some sort of an outfit or a wig or just to watch when we were in Nashville, just to watch every time you'd look over, we were all in the bins at the Nashville bins. Every time you'd look over, Joe would have a different
Something on.
wig
wig.
on. He's putting on costumes that he's finding in the bins. And so really, when I grow up, I just want to be Joe.
Right.
I mean,
Joe has
that's
14 trunks of costumes, accessories.
And then you can carry around Looney Tunes money too, Ken.
That's right.
Maybe we have like a business idea here. We can just start like character guy and we can just hire out our talents.
Right? All
kinda-
over.
That kind of
We
sounds
could
like
have a whole franchise all over the
Birthday
United States.
parties.
Yeah,
Brendan, you played Chuck E. Cheese when you worked at Chuck E. Cheese?
There you
That's
go.
right.
Yeah, dude. All right, so on topic but off topic. If you find any of that stuff on the Chuck E. Cheese, like the costume or the head, that's bolo on eBay. That's big money.
Mhm.
Big
Yes.
The new Chuck E. Cheese or the old one? Like the new.
the old one, but like even any of the like the animatronic stuff goes for crazy money.
Oh yeah.
Crazy money.
I have to
And
keep
who's
an eye
ever
out.
seen one though? Have you ever seen one? Have you guys?
What?
seen-
An
I've seen-
animatronics person?
Yeah, I mean,
From Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. Once.
I mean, even like the plush and stuff like that sells. It's good money, right?
Yes.
Brendan?
Those animatronics were creepy.
yeah, they were.
Yeah, they're like,
Like old, like here.
I say happy, you say birthday. happy birthday, happy.
See, Ray's got it down already.
That was my
Okay.
spot when I was a kid, man. See, look at that. Oh, that's an
Ooh,
old
that's
one,
an
ain't it?
oldie.
The tag's all faded, but yeah, this is definitely 90s, something like that.
Nice. So what would
Dang,
something
now-
like
now
that
you're gonna
go
want me to
for
collect
if
them
you
now.
listed it?
Yeah.
Where is that listed?
It's not listed. I'm not even sure. I haven't looked it up in quite a while. I can look it up.
Is it
right
in
now.
your personal collection, your PC?
Yeah, it's in my collection? Yeah, I'm not gonna sell it, but I don't know. I say at least it's not like crazy, man. I say at least $20.
I would buy that on Whatnot all day long. If some on a plus show and someone popped that up, oh, I'm all over it.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
I'm all
Yeah,
over it.
I see one that looks similar to that is listed at 20. I think it's that.
It's probably
one.
less
Yeah,
than
there's
all
a
the tickets
bunch
you
of
would have
different
to
styles.
win to even get it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So, Angie, I know that you've been going on as some adventures as well, doing all these live selling auctions. Do you have one today? I know you usually do it on Tuesday.
Yep, I'm gonna have 2 today, actually.
Ooh,
Nice.
okay.
I'm
So we need to
gonna-
get you off just in time. You let us know.
No, I haven't even scheduled them because I have to take my mom to the store after this, and then I'll schedule them. But yeah, I have been doing sales. Not only have I been doing YouTube sales, because I do live selling right on YouTube a couple times a week, but I do district and a few Whatnot in there too. So I took all of May and most of June and went full force on the live selling just to see what I thought and to kind of reduce some inventory and just really, oh, there we go. $30 for
29.
that one.
Yeah.
And just see the other side of it, because I was kind of anti doing live sale except for YouTube. And I just wanted to see if you put it all in, what my thoughts were. You know, I didn't want to like tell some of my opinion until I actually did it full force every single day. And I think that I'm on mixed. I have mixed
You're
emotions.
still in the, yeah.
For me, I have to say that I do enjoy live selling to a point. I think that it's great if you have a lot of inventory that you got for an exceptionally low amount. So if you go into a yard sale and you buy out a ton, I want to buy the table. I bought a tub of keychains, and I paid $20 for the tub of keychains. There were hundreds in there. And then I found $5 in the tub. So I only paid $15 for the tub, you know? And the first sale I did, I made $180. And then I probably sold another 40 of them since then. And I still got like 100 and some left. So that's great.
Yes.
But there's some downside of live selling. Number one, if you're not live selling, you're dead in the water. You're not making a dime. So if you don't feel well, if you're not home, if you can't have your face live,
that's a great point.
You're not making a dime.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to see if live selling only would work for me. But the other issue is once you get rid of that junk inventory, you're like then committed to either, you're committed to either buying pallets, you know, so you have to be the pallet person, or you have to hire help that can be live for you at all times. And I don't want to be the pallet person. I don't want to go back to just selling cheapo pallet garbage, you know?
Storage auctions.
Yeah.
There's also, storage units is another
Storage
good way
units,
to get a mass amount.
Yeah, exactly. Oops. And then,
hey, if that's for me, I'm busy.
Okay. I told him already. And so for me, what I've discovered is while I love to do the live selling, my bread and butter comes from eBay, because even when I'm sleeping, eBay is working for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so I had to do it all. I mean, my eBay was dead because I put every ounce of energy I had into live selling. And, you know, my consensus is I need to spend a good majority of my time doing eBay instead of giving items away. I mean, I was giving items away that I could sell for $60, $80 for $5
Yeah, I can't do
just
that.
because I didn't have that right person in the auction at the right time.
Yeah.
And it's infuriating. I mean, like, it was like so stressful. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing here? So I really think that if you want to do live selling, do it. I think it's a great platform. I think personally, and I'd love to know everyone's opinions about this. There's good things about District and there's good things about Whatnot, and there's bad about both of them. I think that Whatnot right now is huge, but it's huge. That's the other problem. So if you're just starting off on there, or like me, haven't done sales, you have no audience. So from what I've heard from people who are doing Whatnot and doing it well, is you have this period of time, you're literally giving your stuff away to build an audience. So you have to be okay with very, very limited sales in order to either, to grow like somewhat of a stable audience, or you have to give stuff away, which will make you grow faster, but at what cost? District, while I love District, I have to say, when you go on, because it's small, you have an audience. No matter who you are, no matter what you're selling in, you're going to have, 10, 15 people in your audience. And 10, 15 people is a lot of people when you're just starting out. But unlike Whatnot, everyone's heard of Whatnot. I go to the bins, people are talking about Whatnot. The kids are talking about Whatnot. The grandmas are talking about Whatnot. No one's ever heard of District. So I think, and for me specifically, it's the did things that the Trash to Cash guys are doing. That's where I'm selling. That's how I found out about it. They reached out to me and wanted me to sell over there. And like were great support to me and helping me get started and featuring some giveaways and things like that. But I think it's going to be really hard to grow a big viewership because they're not advertising anywhere. Like, unless you're watching Trash to Cash, you've never heard of it. So I just don't see in multiple years of doing it, couple years now, I think they have 14,000 people that have signed up ever. And that's
Ever.
Ever. That means they couldn't be using it at all at this point. So the way I look at it is Dibdit Threads. Okay. Dibdit Threads just started this year, which is selling obviously clothes, purses, shoes. They have like 1,400 people since January. Well, that's from that 14,000, the people who are actively using probably signed up. Okay. So that's only 1,400 active users. It's great if you want a core audience, but the same people are there over and over and over again. Well, eventually I would think people are going to run out of money or like not need clothes anymore or something.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot of resellers. So then you also have the fact of they're literally selling for so low on most of unless you're Kevin, or Dave, ADH Dave, or, one of the big people over there because they have such a huge following. Now, I do really well because I brought my own customer base. My people from YouTube,
from your YouTube auction
followed me over there. But, I say if you want to try it, if you have low dollar items, it's a great thing, a great place for you to get rid of stuff. But, that's the limitation of that. And I'm sure they would hate to hear me say that, but it is a limitation. They're not doing any advertising except for talking about it on their channels.
That's a fair assessment, Angie. Now I know that you, when you sell on your Whatnot your YouTube shows, that is your best platform, right, for your live selling?
By far.
And there's no fees.
The only fee, exactly.
Other than
the only fee, and here's the difference. When I do YouTube, we all have that fee per item because PayPal charges it. And they charge it to me too, except for it's 50 cents instead of 30 cents. The difference is I send one invoice for everything you buy for a week. So my fee is 50 cents for everything you bought, plus 3
per invoice.
3.4%. Well, 3.4% is nothing. That's nothing.
Oh, sure.
What does the 3.4% do?
That's your
What's
processing fees.
processing
like,
fee?
for
Yes.
credit cards and things like that. And they just changed it so that if you use a debit card, it's going to be less. It's going to only be 1%. Or if you use a checking account, it's only going to be 1%. So, and I've spent a lot of time, years building that up. Gosh, I think
Yes.
on my mailing
Now-
list, there's almost more people than there are, not quite, but
More than the 1,400?
I'm nearing that number of people from my own auction. That's
Now there's a lot more administration duties with your YouTube,
100%.
with invoicing and the shipping and creating your own labels, where a live selling platform, a whatnot, or something on District is going to keep track of that. It's going to take care of the monies, the fees, the labeling, and all of that. So there is, if you go with the time is money sort of thing, you are probably spending a lot of time to do that. But now, of course, you have fine-tuned that over the years. You've been doing this on YouTube as long as I've known you,
Yeah.
which is several years now. And so you got your process down and what's going. So somebody just starting out, it's like, ooh, no fees, YouTube selling and stuff, but you got to build an audience there as well. And so, it's just different avenues to go down. And
honestly,
different
I think
situations.
YouTube selling would be more difficult for someone just starting out because, I've been a reseller a long time and my channel was up for a couple years and with 5,000, 6,000 just followers for what I do, and then building an audience that way. If you're coming in with just, you have no following or very little following, District would probably be a really good place for you to try selling because they do have very loyal buyers on there. Whereas just coming in, starting a YouTube, how are people going to find you? You're kind of like a needle in a haystack, but I kind of feel that way myself about Whatnot.
Well, I also see the same thing that you do on YouTube. I see people do that on Facebook Lives. It's the same sort of process. I see people do that, Instagram and TikTok selling and stuff. So it's the same thing, but you still have to build that core audience. Somehow you have to get people to come and watch you on any live selling platform, anywhere. And it's where you want to put your efforts.
Well, there's this one couple, Heather and Paul. They're called Hooked on Pickin'. Have you ever heard of them? Hooked on Pickin'. They started out years ago, probably 6 years ago, and they would do a YouTube auction. And at the time they were buying bulk boxes of literal garbage. I mean, anything you could get from the dollar part of Target, that's what they were selling. That's the boxes they would get. They have 2 or 3 auctions a week now. They have built up. They have 600 to 700 people on every one of their sales.
Wow.
Yeah.
On YouTube. They never have gone to another person's channel. They've never promoted themselves on anyone's channel. They don't shout out any other shows. They are lone wolves in this, but they have been consistent for years and now get 600 to 700 people on every one of their sales. There's nothing they can't sell. I mean, it's like crazy to me.
And that's that whole thing of putting the years and putting the time in to doing something. I think one of the issues with the live selling is you go on the Whatnot and you see the people that are, or District platforms or whatever, and you see the people that are on there and they have these big channels and they have several hundred people in their shows, and you go, oh, that looks easy. I'm going to do that. And it's not. Those people have put the work in as well. They've done stuff, in the back end to get inventory and things.
They've done it for a year and lost money.
Yes. It's difficult. You always want to compare yourself. You always want to say, oh, I can do that because this person is doing that. And it's time and effort, just like anything else that you do. Any venture is time and effort.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead. I think live selling, like you said, I had a friend from church just this Sunday was like, "Hey, you do reselling, all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, I'm selling stuff on Jamble. Do you
Oh,
recommend me? How do you like? I need a thermal printer. Like I need all this stuff. Like help me out here. I'm like Jamble. I've heard of Jamble, but I never met anybody that is selling on Jamble. So
mhm.
my interest got sparked. I'm like, well, what do you sell? How much do you sell? What are the fees? What are the like all this stuff? So it turned from her asking me questions to me
Are you
asking her
asking her?
questions. But
Yes.
I think live selling as a whole is it's here to stay. It's only going to get bigger,
Mhm.
and we need to get your live selling YouTube like blown up, Angie. We need to
Yes.
figure that out
You know what
so
I
you can
think it
be
is?
hooked on
I
picking
I
as
can
well.
hooked on picking. You know what they did? They consistently make 2 videos a week because this is my and let me know, guys, what you think about this. When you are doing a live, YouTube does not push you out. They
Mm-mm.
don't. They only push out to the people that are already subscribed to you. When you do a pre-recorded video, you have a chance to get pushed out to new people based on, you know, what you're doing, what your keywords you use, things like that. So it's from those pre-recorded videos that you find new people that would then come to your live. They would subscribe to you, and that's how they find you. And what Hoton Pickens did is consistently did 2 videos a week of this is what we picked up. This is what we're
Yeah.
going to sell. This is what we unboxed.
Yeah.
Every single week, 2 videos plus their auctions. That's how they grew. And that is what I'm not doing. And so
That is
it's
smart. You got to
a
have a funnel to get
yeah,
people to
exactly.
and
Yeah.
Exactly.
the video my best performing videos on YouTube have been whatnot tutorial how to do videos.
Oh yeah.
And every week, every 30 minutes I'll get you have $5 whatnot credit that they've used to sign up through whatnot through those videos. And even there'll be you have $100 coming your way because you just referred a new
Yeah.
seller to whatnot. So those videos alone have made me not only the ad revenue, but way more money on getting people over to the whatnot platform. So to your to your point, Angie, you need to have things that are funneling
Yeah.
the thing that you're doing. So I think that's brilliant. And you could do this is what I picked up at the thrift store this Saturday or next week. This is what I'm going to be
Yes.
selling. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100% agree with that.
But with
Yes.
somebody who's been on a reseller for 27 years, I'm still completely overwhelmed and intimidated by whatnot. I go in there and I know, but now the people have grown so big. I feel like completely, I don't know how someone who's a new reseller goes on there and starts. It's overwhelming. I mean, I don't I just don't know how people do it and don't feel defeated.
I think you just have to stay in your lane, kind of have like the blinders on and just go for it. Go
Yeah,
for it.
I
And
guess.
like
Yeah.
you said, you lose, you win. Like you have to know what your ultimate goal is. In this case, we need to make money, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
it helps if you're, entertaining. If you're a Santa Claus or people like that. It's entertainment, and
Yes.
at the end of the day,
That's a big part of it too,
Yeah.
is the entertain. I think Ray, you had said earlier, live selling is for resellers. It is a fact of life these days. That's the way it is not going to ever replace the static selling, but it's that entertainment value. It is that
yeah,
mix of the social media
That's true.
and the selling, and you get people excited about buying the product. But if I'm looking for, let's just say I'm looking for a saxaboom by chance,
ooh,
I am not going to go on Whatnot or district platforms or Jambo or any place and sit around and wait for somebody to run a saxaboom. I am going to go to eBay. That is kind of the premier place. And if I'm looking for something specific, I am going to go to those static sites. And I don't think that's ever going to go away. But the excitement and the entertainment of the live selling, plus you can get really great deals.
Could you explain to me what a saxaboom is? Does anyone know what that is?
Ooh,
Well,
that might be a
you know-
tease for the next or After Dark episode.
I can't, but I know a guy that can.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Joe found a very, very nice thing that we'll talk about the After Dark episode. I did want to bring this up before we get out of here. Did you guys see that eBay auctions have now implemented a extra 2 minutes to when an auction is ending? If people are continuing to bid, they'll add an additional.
What?
So it won't.
A soft
the
closing.
sniping is no longer a thing.
Really?
So it can continue to go up as long as people are bidding up to when they stop.
I did not see that.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yes.
I can't remember exactly what they called it, but I saw that because, being in the trading card world, the Pokemon world, that's something that happens. People snipe, and that's how I heard it. Yeah, I heard it yesterday. So I also wanted to let you guys know and the audience know that I am now a permanent co-host, the second guy on the Hobby Nonsense podcast. Which, if you guys want to come over and give us a follow, Hobby Nonsense, we talk everything non-sports cards and hobbies. We had a guy on yesterday that collects vintage, like presidential cards and stuff from like old tobacco and bubblegum stuff. So it's a cool little gig. So give us a follow, Hobby Nonsense. We'll be doing some follow us on Instagram and all that stuff. So we'll be doing some good stuff over there. Me and my boy Jesse. So check out Hobby Nonsense. But yeah, I think this is great. So a little tease for next episode. We're going to talk about our summer. Joe found, would you say, one of your grail items, Joe?
Oh yeah. Yep. It was. I nearly pulled a hamstring. Let's just put it that way.
So we'll discuss that on the After
I
Dark
had that.
episode. Guys, this has been This Week in Reselling Podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts about live selling, about Santa Clausing. Would you make a good Santa Claus? And let us know, what was your